I often, even now, still look back and wonder what has kept me here so long, and that has to be it. Being able to just live authentically and feeling like we live in a community that shares the same values and sense of being able to be yourself. I mean, we are such an island of misfits.
Key West Porch Talk, your home navigator. From the keys to the seas, it's all a thrill. With Ea Ruth, your trusted realtor.
I'm Ea Ruth, your Keys to the Seas realtor with LaFrena Real Estate at 1120 Duval Street in sunny Key West, Florida. You're listening to Key West Porch Talk. This is conversations with people who live, work, and play in Key West, Florida. So when June rolls around in Key West, it's a little different, it has a different atmosphere, and it presents itself differently in a way that we kick off summer with is the celebration of Key West Pride. With me today is Fritzie Estimond. She is the Associate Director of the Key West Business Guild, and we're going to talk today about her and the Business Guild and Pride. Welcome, Fritzie.
Well, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We're excited to have you. So tell us a little bit about yourself first before we get into the whole bit of business and all, and your journey to Key West.
Sure. As you mentioned, my name is Fritzie Estimond. I have been a resident of Key West for 16 years, almost 17 years at this point. I moved here originally from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Oh,
so not too far. I came here as a juvenile corrections officer.
that must have been fun.
Yes, I jokingly say now I work with adult juveniles.
That's good.
It's never really left me. So yeah, did that a couple years, and then transitioned to hospitality. I managed the Eden House for a while. I did sort of a reset and worked at the Gates Hotel. That's changed a lot, and that's where I met Kevin.
Oh, good.
Who is my hiring executive director at the Key West Business Guild.
Right,
and
he was the director at the time.
He was actually an office manager.
Oh.
The director at the time was Matt Hahn.
Oh.
Who essentially we didn't know at the time was making his plan to move back to Cincinnati. He had hired Kevin full-time, who was working there part-time and was volunteering there for many years, and essentially told him to hire someone, that he would feel comfortable with. We didn't know at the time that he was leaving. Kevin eventually took over full-time at the Business Guild, and when he was asked to hire someone, he reached out to me.
Oh, that's
and
great.
That's how I ended up at the Guild.
Oh, I love it. I love getting a little bit of the history because, of course, I'm newer than 16, 17 years. I've got a couple years under my belt.
Sure.
So getting the history is
You've
really...
already got a lot done, though. Most people don't know I've been here that long.
No, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, you've accomplished a lot as well. So what was the moment when you realized you were going to stay here in Key West?
That is interesting. Only because, unlike most people, I had to learn to fall in love with the island.
Oh.
I think the smallness of it took some adjusting for sure. So for the first several years, I just kind of kept my head down and, did what I had to do. I worked. I spent a lot of my time on the mainland when I wasn't working. And so it would have to be the Business Guild, I guess. At that time, it forced me to shift everything about what I thought the island was supposed to look like for me. And it put me in rooms. Now you're associated with different business owners and managers, whereas I was just kind of making random friends, and it didn't feel that way. And so, yeah, you have to now put yourself out there in a different way than I was used to doing.
Interesting, yeah. But I guess coming from a larger city,
for sure,
you became like you were just visible.
Yes,
in a small town.
Very much so.
Where in a big city you're not.
Yeah. And as I stated, as a juvenile corrections officer at the time,
you didn't want to be visible.
We did not want to be. Exactly. But yeah, I think there was a moment at some point was trying to figure out the balance in how do I do this job, but also keep my sense of self. And yeah, I essentially learned that balance through working with the guild.
That's great. I love it because, yeah, you're definitely known now in the community for sure.
Yeah.
Yes,
And I
that's
still
great.
keep my Sundays to myself. So there is some balance.
Yay, yay. That's good. We all need a little balance.
Yes.
So, what does it feel like to live openly and authentically here in Key West?
Wow. Up until probably a year or so ago, it felt amazing. I I often, even now, still look back and wonder what has kept me here so long, and that has to be it. Being able to just live authentically and feeling like we live in a community that shares the same values and sense of being able to be yourself. I mean, we are such an island of misfits, and it just felt like we all sort of clicked in this weird organic way.
That's why it's called Key West Weird,
that's
right?
That's right. They don't call us Key Weird for nothing. And so up until, the recent, LGBTQ, anti-LGBTQ laws, and having even some local decisions that have been made recently, it's always felt real and authentic. And yes, I do get to live my life a lot brighter and authentically than most or some places.
Yeah.
But it is starting to feel like we're sort of melding into that.
The larger city aspect of,
Yeah, things feel like it's shifting. But I mean, the feeling of living loud and proud, that necessarily hasn't changed, but it is starting to feel a little less supported.
Yeah, there's definitely some laws and decision making that has affected the LGBTQ community here in Key West for sure.
For sure.
But we all know that the LGBTQ community has shaped some of the culture in Key West. And can you share a little bit about the background? Because I wasn't here as much, and I mostly hear it through the guild and the people I talk to, and maybe you have a little insight you could share.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it started before my time as well. I wasn't a part of the guild when it was initially installed. For example, the Rainbow Crosswalk. I was there with the reshaping of or the replacement of it that the city eventually had to cover because it was ripped up of all that work they had to do post. But I wasn't there for the original framework.
No.
And we know, based on the history, Tim Don's No Closet Space.
Yes, I saw that. That was excellent. It gave me some background that I didn't know about as well.
For sure, for sure. So, I mean, I know a lot of my history through moments like that, and some of the archival stuff, and having conversations with people like Pete Erno and Dennis Beaver.
And these were business owners. These were lodging owners. Well, they're all business owners for the most part. Lodging, hospitality. It was everything that makes Key West what it is today.
Correct.
Was had a backbone in the LGBTQ community.
For sure. And the LGBTQ community has a history of making a place popular and then eventually it becoming so welcoming that the straights become a friendly part of this community as well.
Yeah, I feel like it's that's just it. It's welcoming everyone. It's all inclusive
for sure,
and that's where it starts. It's not that the straight community started the all inclusive. It was started with the LGBTQ community, one human family.
That's right.
Yep, that's great. So we know that people come to visit Key West and they end up staying in Key West, and we know it's because they have this feeling of authenticity. Mm-hmm. So how does the Key West Business Guild contribute to that? Its mission is to focus on tourism, driving tourism to support LGBTQ people and allies. And can you expound a little more on the mission of the guild from your perspective?
For sure, that's exactly right. The whole purpose is to emphasize that Key West is an all-welcoming destination, and in order to do that, there needs to be an LGBTQ sector of the community to bring people in to reflect that. And I'll be honest. I think again, going back to those anti-LGBTQ laws that are ramping up in this country, it is getting harder and harder to justify travel to Florida. But that doesn't stop us from the mission. The goal is to remind folks while these things are happening, there are people that are still part of this community that find it worth the fight, and to remain resilient. That's just, I mean, it's how we're built. This fight isn't anything different. In fact, if we speak to some elders, they'll tell us,
there's always been a fight.
There's always been a fight. And so this is no different. And this is certainly just a battle of stamina and remaining hopeful. And so we hope that, we just continue to strengthen and have partnership between not just our community, but have a strength with allies and reminding them, yes, it's all welcoming to LGBTQ families and making sure that they are coming to a place that feels space and safe and welcoming. But also, we want to have those folks bring people that support that, our allies.
Yes.
Because we can't fight this thing alone.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So now we're moving toward June. We're almost there. It's going to be Pride. It's going to be Key West Pride. Key West Pride is a destination event. We get people from all over the world that come to our event. And I know that you lead up into that event.
Yeah.
And can you share with us a little bit about the Pride event, maybe a little bit of its history, and then some tips and maybe some things that are happening this year?
Sure. When I was hired for the Guild, I was hired as the event coordinator. I just recently got the Associate's Director title. So I've been producing Pride, I can't even say since 2017 because I started just after Pride of that year, but I was hired in 2017 and have been coordinating since. And so Pride has always been one of my favorite events because of the hard work that it entails. It's probably one of our hardest events to plan and coordinate. And I just always have this overwhelming feeling with the parade at the very end, all of that hard work, all of that planning, it all coming together as we, march down Duval Street and have all these folks on either side of the street.
It just bubbles up inside of you at that point.
I just love it so much. So yeah, this year is obviously no different. Color the Island.
That's our theme this year.
That's our theme this year. Celebrating identity through color and creativity. That was birthed, I announced it the year before by the 20th, so that it was in the guide, not knowing that this legislation, this HB 1001, that is the anti-LGBTQ law that just passed to take effect in January, where we are losing our funding. I didn't know that was not even in our radar.
Fortuitous.
For sure. So obviously it's very appropriate this year in Coloring the Island. It's beautiful to see Anne with the Fence Fairy coloring the island in her own beautiful way. And so it's beautiful that we get to do that alongside her this year.
Yes.
And so, yeah, that's one of my favorite parts is that this will give us an opportunity to show people what Key West is made of.
We're going to show up.
That's right. We're going to show up.
Be proud and show up.
That's right. We kick off June 3rd through the 7th this year.
And kickoff party this year is at
the cooking show upstairs.
Yay.
We'll have that entire second floor up there. We've invited a couple vendors to kind of set up. We're going to drape the 25-foot portion of the C2C flag.
Wonderful.
It'll be it's $25 if you get your tickets now, $30 at the door. And that includes drinks and all kinds of munchies that they're cooking up for
Fun.
us.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's a cooking show. You're going to have a lot of food.
Oh, for sure. And then Bertha, Rob, implemented that. I couldn't tell you much about.
Well, Bertha, it's a drag show, the Grateful Dead drag show,
yes, exactly,
at the Key West Theater.
Yes, and I think they're called Deadheads. I think.
Deadheads. Yes, correct.
So if you're a deadhead,
obviously the two of us are not deadheads, but there are many of them out there, and it's a big following, and a lot of
great following.
Gay people follow it.
Yep, we love what they stand for. They're coming here and making sure a portion of their proceeds is going to go to a local nonprofit in town, And yeah, they were very intentional and obviously in lines with what we're trying to do and the message we're trying to put out there.
Yep. And then we have, what else do we have coming up?
We have, of course, the pub roll is back. We'll have 2 different pub rolls kicking off from Bobby's
event.
Monkey Bar this year. And it's going to end at La Concha. They've been an annual partner of ours. Yeah, we have a Tea on the Sea every year. We have DJ Angel, Mr. Enjoy, I think he calls himself. Of course, the annual bartender competition at Joey's at their back bar there. Yeah, and to kick it all off, or to end it, or to wrap it all up, is the parade.
And before the parade, we have the street fair.
Oh, the street fair, yes, of course. Street fair.
That's on Saturday.
That's on Saturday. We'll have 2 stages this year. And
2
2
one
stages,
on each end.
One on either end, and one is going to be a family-friendly stage. We have Queer Keys going to be doing clack fan decorating for us. Unity of the Keys are going to be doing rock decorations there on that end. And it's going to feature mostly high school kids.
Wonderful.
And so, yeah, we're looking forward to implementing more family friendly, because Pride has always been
family friendly.
And so we wanted to be very intentional about making sure that was
we highlighted, feature it. Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So thanks for bringing that up.
Give it some background. Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's tell our listeners where they can find all this information in depth so they can order tickets, plan their schedule.
Yeah. Well, you can start at gatekeywestfl.com /pride. Otherwise, we have a list of all of our different events that we host at the very top, and you can just select Pride. And we have swag bags. We'll have about 250 swag bags. It's free. All you got to do is stop by and pick it up at 808 Duval Street. That's our visitor center. And then it'll be throughout the different bars. Graffiti will have 801 Bourbon Street Pub. I'm sure Island House, if folks are staying in Island House, will have access to that as well.
Excellent. Yeah. So definitely look online. That's a good place to start.
Yes.
With Gay Key West. That's a perfect place to start.
Yeah. Or if you see Ea walking around,
see me walking
she's on
around.
the board. So.
That's a good plug. Thank you.
That's right. You got it.
So let's see. Let me find out what other aspects of this do I want to go towards. So I know you've been organizing Pride for a while.
Mm-hmm.
There's other events that you organize as well.
Sure.
Let's just put a little plug in for those.
Yeah.
Real quick.
We also host Tropical Heat, which is our men event in August. We do a Women Fest in September. And then Headress Ball during Fantasy Fest.
Yeah, and I think Women Fest is close to your heart as well.
Oh, yes. That would be favorite number 2.
And both very large events.
Very large events. And it's been really, really nice to start from nothing with Women Fest to see where it's grown into now. So.
Again, another destination event.
Event, and it's great. I heard a lot of the attendees last year say, yeah, I know a lot of folks won't travel to Florida, but, there are gay women here that are trying to create events for us.
Yes.
And it's important that we support that.
That's
and that is truly the gist of it, because I don't know if you're aware, but there was a coordinated event from a group of women, 21 Bar Project, where they were essentially highlighting the demise of lesbian bars.
Oh, yes,
in the nation.
I saw that online.
Whereas Florida has
Facebook.
0.
We don't have any.
No. And so it's slowly growing into a lot more than that since they've begun. But, that's essentially what I've been trying to communicate. It's like, if we want these sort of organizations and events to succeed, it is important that we travel and support it.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah. So come to Key West.
Come to Key West first.
We're here. We're very open. We're very friendly.
Yes.
If you don't go anywhere else in Florida, just come to Key West. You can fly directly into Key West in our nice new airport.
That's right.
So I want to ask you just like a personal question, because I know you do some other stuff outside of the Guild. You've been doing some, I know you did light work for some of our theaters here in town, and I know that you've also started doing theater work.
I have done some theater
I know I'm
work.
putting you on the spot a little bit.
Yeah,
Tell us how you're feeling about that, because I think
about theater.
yeah, I think it's a little bit, you know,
Yeah,
you love it, and then sometimes it's
yeah.
challenging.
You know what? I've had an interesting relationship with acting specifically. The theater stuff I love. When I was hired at the waterfront, I don't know, several years ago, and it was just right after COVID, and so things were a little weird. But I love the back end stuff. You know, I have volunteered even at the Tennessee Williams with Matthew Rawls there, where because you know they have a lot of traveling theater, and
Yes.
so I have volunteered to unload the semis and build the stage. And so watching that come from nothing and then us putting it all together, it's just such an amazing thing to me. And then people just kind of show up with their ticket and don't know all that entails. And I've done it on the other side where I, unloaded the stage and then loaded the semis. So I know what it looks like on both ends of that. And I just love how creative the mind can be in that way. And so it went from back end stuff, and of course, people don't let you stay in that one spot.
They
And
like
then
you
say,
to
"Hey,
expand yourself."
yeah, exactly. Could you do this thing? I've never done it. All you have to do is do this. All right, okay, all right. I'd love to do that. So I've done spotlight. I've done sound work as well. And then eventually I was talking to going on stage.
You've been on stage
I've been
now.
on stage
Yeah.
a few times, and wow, it's just it gives me, or it gave me, an anxiety that I cannot describe.
I can only imagine.
You know, and so that's why I would say that it's been such an interesting relationship with being on the stage,
Yeah.
and the anxiety that it brings. And then I just recently did something at the Red Barn where it didn't feel it didn't feel so heavy, and so I think I just had to learn what that.
Maybe what parts you felt best at.
Yeah, no, I don't even think it.
Yeah,
I think
no?
it was always mental.
Ah.
It's always been a mental thing.
Interesting.
And so I think I just had to train my brain to look at it very differently.
Well, I have to say, I did see your show at the Red Barn, and it was fantastic. I thought the part that you played you pulled it off superbly.
Thank you very much.
It was a fun part.
Thank you. Yeah, it did stretch me. There were lots of words.
Yes.
But yeah, I know I really enjoyed it. And so I've already auditioned for next season. So we'll see.
All right. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you.
It's great. Well, thank you for your time today. Before we start the truth or tale round, which is a fun round for us, I just want to know if there's anything else you want to share with our listeners about Pride, the event, LGBTQ Gay Key West, anything.
I think I will close this with, we are at a time where we are going to need support. The plan to establish Gay Key West was something that we have been talking about in order to grow the Business Guild and its events. But now it's become two separate entities, and I don't know how to convey how much the community support that is needed in order to make us successful and to sustain. So we know at this point that there's no longer funding from the county. And so in order to continue the celebration as it's been, or even to expand it, we are going to need support in every aspect of that. If you can't do it financially, showing up and volunteering in different ways, whatever you can do to get more involved with this community, whatever come to Jesus we need, whatever kumbaya session we might need, to let some old things go and work as a collective, is going to be necessary in order for us to be successful in the future. So I beg, I plead, reach out. We'd love to have conversation, discussion, whatever that might take, in order to make that happen. So.
Great. Well, thank you very much. And I know that Gay Key West is a separate entity. It's a 501c3, so it's a charitable organization that is being developed now. And so that's where a lot of public facing marketing will happen. So
Right.
be on the lookout for that. That'll be coming forth very soon as their board gets settled in.
Sure.
And then, of course, you can always go to 808 Duval and talk to Fritzie at the Key West Business Guild, which is the community center for the community of Gay Key West.
Yeah.
And thank you again for your time. So let's go right into the truth or tale.
Okay.
So I'll ask you a question and you can let me know if it's a truth or a tale. Let the audience know. So
Okay.
Key West Pride feels more like a family reunion than a festival. Yes, we all know that, right?
Yes, exactly.
It's always fun.
Yes. Family reunion kickback, celebrating where we've come from.
Yep.
So.
And we often have friends that'll come into town. And just for that event, it's really fun that way. Get to see them again once a year,
Yeah.
People come to Key West for vacation, but they stay because they finally feel like themselves.
Ooh.
We hear that a lot, don't we?
We do hear that a lot.
I just feel like myself. I love living in Key West.
Exactly.
The LGBTQ community did not help shape the culture of Key West.
Big fat.
Yeah. We talked extensively about that, and we know that was not true. The backbone of a lot of Key West culture is the community of LGBTQ.
And there's a really great documentary at the Tropic going on right now. It's only 40 minutes. If people want to
what is it?
That. It's just the history of Key West.
Oh, just in general.
It does,
yes.
Yeah, it does also highlight.
Oh, I'll have to go see that.
Yeah.
In Key West, chosen family can become just as important as biological family.
Oh, for sure.
Sometimes more important, right?
Absolutely.
All right, great. People underestimate how emotional pride can actually be.
Oh, I told you that.
It just bubbles up by the end of the parade.
By the parade, it's really just...
Yeah. So everybody come out for all these events. They're great.
Yeah.
Pride events are more about business than community.
Oh.
Yep, we know that. We get excited about it.
Yeah.
You don't have to identify as LGBTQ to feel connected to Key West Pride.
Absolutely, you do not. Correct.
The magic of Key West is really about the people, not the place.
Hello.
It's the people that make the place, right?
That's right. Exactly.
The best part of Pride Week isn't the parties, it's the connections people make. And that's all the truth.
The parties are just a bonus.
I know. They're the cherry on top.
That's right. That's right.
Great. Well, this has been an excellent conversation, Fritzie. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you so much for having me.
And I want to thank the listeners for tuning in every month. We have our Key West Porch Talk drops on the 1st and the 15th of every month. It's on Spotify. It's on YouTube. And I'm Ea Ruth, your Keys to the Seas realtor. See you next time.